Hey, hey, hey. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to my live video call. I apologize for being on late. My original time was supposed to be at 8 p.m., but because of a business appointment that I had, I was not able to get until just now. So today we are going to be discussing about stress and why you should try your best to get rid of the stress that you are experiencing so that you can have a better life and definitely a better immune system overall. So, if you share my video, especially if you find value, please do so. You could share it with your friends and family as well. And you can certainly visit my blog page at chadallen.net, CHADALLAN.net. And you can also get my free Ultimate Health Survivor Guide at by just pushing on the banner, or also a little bit below, and or on the side of one of the blog posts. You can also check out uh, the fill out your information there as well. So, stress. What is stress? Why does it? What can it do? And why you should get rid of the stress in your life to the best of your ability. We know that stress. We are always faced. Our bodies are always faced with tons and tons of stressors. Now, stressors can be anything from physical to environmental to mental. So, depending on the kind of stress that you are experiencing, will also depend on uh, how that particular stress is going to affect you. So, whether that stressor is pollution, whether it is being overweight, or maybe it's mental, maybe you're feeling a little bit depressed, or you're unable to handle certain situations. And so the stress levels are building up in you. And all of these have a very big effect on how your immune system operates. And I will go into why and what happens when you have this kind of stress, and what it can cause, and what it can, and what it, as well as what it suppresses and also helps. So, but I want my main focus here is not going to be the physical stress or the environmental stress. My main focus here is going to be on the mental stress that many people face, especially when they're unable to handle certain situations, and they get really, really stressed out, and they become depressed. They become unhappy, and so much more. So you know what happens if someone who has a lot of stress, and you also see the depression that that can come from that. So now you may think this is kind of crazy, but it's scientifically proven that people who tend to have a happier life, who lead a happier life, well, of course, will have less stress, but they also get sick less often. And why is that? And why is it that people who tend to have more of a negative viewpoint of life, who are always complaining, who are always having lots and lots of stress in their life, why is it that they get sick more often than their peers who tend to be a bit happier in their overall life? Well, it boils down to, because when we are have a negative view, when we are constantly uh, allowing certain situations to get at us, our immune system, what happens is that our brain it starts to send signals to our body, to the endocrine system, the pituitary, and and the hormones are being released. And so what the brain is telling the body is that it needs to go into a flight mode or a fight mode. So all of a sudden, your immune system has to switch gears from fighting the the viruses and the other microbes that are attacking the body, and it has to obey the commands of the brain and the hormones, and it goes after the particular stressor that is causing you to feel down, depressed, or like you're feeling like really angry. So your body is going into a switch. And then what happens is because of your feeling very, very stressed, then microbes are able to begin to build. They begin to multiply. They begin to do the things because the immune system is now weaker from what it used to be, and therefore you begin to get symptoms. And those symptoms, then what happens is you start to developing. You get the runny nose. You get the watery eyes. Um, you get the fever, and it's all because of the because of the stress that you are having in your life. Now, is it always like that? No, not always. Because if you are a very healthy person, you can still get sick, which is very obvious. But but in the cases of the people who are more depressed, it's because their immune systems is much weaker than those who are much happier in their life. Now, so what happens also when someone who is depressed? Well, what happens is, and why you have a weaker immune system because of the mental stress that you're experiencing, it's it suppresses the immune system's ability to create more cytotoxic T cells and natural killer cells. Now, this is all part of the innate part of the immune system where it's the response, where the body will seeks and destroys before it has to create the other immune response to a specific pathogenic attack. So the innate side of it is just like, oh, here it is. We recognize what's going on, and then it starts sending signals to the other cells, like the T memory cells, the B cells, all the other things, and then that is how your immune system is able to operate. Well, if your body is not able to have more natural killer cells in the body or more cytotoxic T cells, then what happens is you lose your ability for your immune system to respond more quickly and destroy the pathogen that has come into the body from right there on the spot. So, so if it's able to kill it right there on the spot, then it doesn't have to go into the other part of the immune system where you had the T memory cells and the B memory cells, where it's like an extra layer that's just getting sent. So this is why I also offer immune messengers to people, because immune messengers, what that does is it increases the your immune system's ability to create more natural killer cells, cytotoxic T cells, and it creates memory as well. It helps the immune system, it transfers the memory to one cell to the other, and therefore it's able to learn how to defend against certain pathogenic attacks. So back to the stress. So the mind is a very, very powerful thing, because when you are when you're causing yourself to uh, when you have a positive attitude in life, then naturally what happens is that your immune system is able to create more of these cells, these cytotoxic T cells, these natural killer cells, and then so your immune system is being more optimized, where the other way is being more suppressed. So there's a lot of evidence, lots and lots of evidence of people who live healthier lives because they tend to have a more of a positive attitude, the positive of persuasion. People always say, "Oh, you have positive thinking," and positive thinking is it's just a fantasy. No, it's not a fantasy because a lot of people have a positive. Those who do have positive attitudes are more that they tend to be more healthier than those who don't. So again, you can go to my blog at chadallan.net, CHADALLAN.net, and you can check out my blog and read more about stress there, as well as other topics that you can get there. And you can also pick up my free guide, my free Ultimate Health Survival Guide, which talks about the immune messages that I just talked about. You can just click on the banner, and it will pop up where you put in your name and email, and then you can get that free guide. So something that you should really consider going and getting because it's very informative. So how do we handle stress? How do we take that stress and begin to limit it so that we have a better immune response? So how do we do that? What are some ways that we could take our feeling of feeling super stressed about our life, the feeling about the how our inability to really handle and make the right kind of decision to have less stress, and then also to be able to boost and have a more optimized immune system. Because when you think about it, when you have a poor outlook, when you're feeling really, really depressed, then the prognosis of survival, let's say you have cancer, the prognosis of surviving cancer because of your very low self-esteem and depression tends to be a lot less than those who have a very strong and positive attitude about hey, I'm going to live. This is what I'm going to do, and we're going to make this happen. So it's the prognosis is much different between those two. So some things that you can do is that you can do exercises that will help you to relax, whether that be a you could do Pilates, or you could do some form of yoga. You could do other things that are good that really be relaxing. There are things that you could do instead of if you're feeling really stressed, instead of like making a quick decision, you just take a step back, and then you allow yourself to you take a deep breath, and you think about the situation at that very moment, and then once you are able to make a rational decision at that moment instead of having a decision that is made on the spot, then you can make that decision, and then it's more you feel calmer about what is taking place. Yeah, we still have a little bit of stress, of course, but at least you're able to limit it and take care of it much better. Other things you can do is, of course, having the positive thinking. Even if you're feeling negative, you can use some behavioral modification. So, like, if you are always, I'm no good, or I'm not this, I can't believe this, I can't believe that. Instead of saying these things, you change it. Even though if you're not feeling what you're saying, but you change that mindset by saying, I am wonderful. I am. If you're a lady, I am beautiful. If you're a guy, I am handsome. I am this. I am that. I am. I am a child of God. I am all these things that you can say that are positive versus the things that are negative. Now, will you still feel a little bit negative inside? Perhaps. But eventually, as you train yourself to say these things, then that will begin to, the negative mindset will begin to be alleviated from you. And so the stress levels will also become a lot less because you are learning how to handle the certain stressors that are coming to your way. And you can even limit your exposures to the physical and also the environmental if those were uh, those are things that are causing you great mental stress as well. So you need to develop a plan of action where how you're going to handle certain um, certain situations. Like, if you have a spouse and you're always if you're always bickering at each other, how can you limit that bickering? How can you limit how you respond to your spouse? Because obviously, you respond to your spouse or even responding to your child in a very negative way often returns a negative response to you. So how can you change that and to make it into a more positive response? And these are things that, and what I talked about, taking a step back and taking a deep breath, and then thinking about what was being said or what was being done, and then respond in a more calmer way where it doesn't alienate your spouse or your child or whoever. And instead, you're basing everything on an objective type of response. So these are things that you can really do as an individual to help limit your stress and to and then in turn, because you're limiting your stress levels, and because you are becoming more positive in your thinking, then you're also creating an atmosphere where your body is not shutting itself down to respond to the stress, and then you're not allowing yourself to get more sick because you don't have the optimized immune system that you're looking for, and then in turn, you're because of that you are much healthier and much happier. So I want to thank you for being on this call tonight. I apologize that it was so late getting started on the live call. And like I said before, you definitely visit uh, my blog at chadallen.net, CHADALLAN, and then you can also get my free Ultimate Health Guide at just click on the banner there as well. But you can also go to chadallen.net/freebie, FREEBIE, and you can get it that way as well. Just have to fill out your information, and it will be sent to you. And so I want to thank you again for being on the call. And if you found value, please share this with your friends and family as well. And also, to let you know that this live, if you're on the replay, ask your questions. I'll be more than happy to answer those questions. You can find this video on my YouTube channel, also on Periscope, Facebook, and also on my website. This video will also be posted within the blog as well, the blog article that this is associated with. And thank you, and we will talk to you later on. Bye-bye.